My girlfriend shouted in front of the entire crowd, "You'll never measure up to what I deserve." I gave a small smile and replied quietly, "Perhaps you're correct." Then I turned, picked up my keys, stepped into my car, and drove off without a single glance behind me. Several hours afterward, one of her friends messaged me. "Do you want to know what she said once you were gone?" I responded. "What?" Her answer arrived almost instantly. And that single line turned my whole reality upside down. Dear friends, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps motivate me. Thank you. I'm 29 years old, and just 3 weeks back, I believed my life was completely sordid. I'd been in a relationship with my girlfriend for 4 years. We first crossed paths at a friend's birthday gathering, clicked right away, and in less than half a year, we were sharing an apartment. She held a marketing position at a growing tech firm, constantly driven, always pushing upward. I genuinely admired that quality in her. I believed we were creating something meaningful together. The evening everything collapsed was meant to be a joyful occasion. Her firm had sealed a big contract, so she decided to host a gathering at our place. I devoted the whole day to tidying up, arranging things, ensuring it all looked flawless. Around 30 guests arrived, her colleagues, various friends, and some unfamiliar faces. While I was in the kitchen restocking ice, her voice sliced through the background tunes. To be honest, I can't figure out why I'm still hanging on to him. I went rigid. She was chatting with 3 of her work colleagues by the balcony area. Through the open doorway, I could see them holding drinks, chuckling. One remarked, "Come on, he appears decent." She let out a laugh. It wasn't warm or friendly. Decent doesn't fund the kind of life I want. Decent doesn't open important doors. I want someone on my level, you get it? Someone with real ambition. I remained frozen, clutching the ice bag, sensing the cold seeping into my hands. Then she noticed me. Our gazes met for perhaps 2 seconds. No shame appeared on her face, only irritation that I'd overheard. I approached without hurry, placed the ice on the nearby table, and that's when she declared it, loud enough for those close by to catch every word. "You'll never be good enough for me." The chatter nearby faded instantly. Heads turned, I sensed every gaze fixed on us. My heart pounded hard, yet I refused to let her witness any collapse. I forced a smile, not joyful, just enough to mask the storm inside. "Maybe you're right," I murmured gently. I picked up my keys from the countertop, exited through the door, climbed into my car, and left. No destination in mind. I simply drove for hours, windows open, stereo silent, attempting to make sense of it all. Close to midnight, I booked a cheap motel close to the airport. I powered down my phone and lay staring upward until sleep finally came near 4 a.m. the next morning. My phone showed 47 missed calls and more than 100 messages. The majority came from her. Some were from people at the gathering. I disregarded them all except for one. It was from her friend Natalie. We'd always had a good rapport. She stood out as someone in her group who actually saw me as an individual, not just an add-on. Her message read, "Hi, I realize you likely don't feel like speaking to anyone, but there's something you ought to hear. Mind if I call?" I answered, not prepared to speak yet. "Just send whatever it is." The typing indicator blinked on and off several times. Eventually, the text arrived. "You know what she said right after you walked out?" My gut twisted. I replied, "What?" Her response followed quickly. She said, "Perfect. Now I won't need to end things with him before the Monaco getaway. Brandon will be way simpler to manage." I reread those words 3 times. Brandon, her manager, the man she'd been staying late with for the last 6 months, the one she insisted was merely a guide. The one, it turned out, planning a Monaco trip with her. I sat on the motel bed's edge for 20 full minutes, eyes glued to the screen. Then I did something I'm not thrilled about, though I don't regret it either. I accessed our joint cloud storage, the one holding pictures and files. She'd never bothered updating the password. I located a directory labeled Work Travel. It contained numerous images. Her with Brandon in Miami, her with Brandon in New York, her with Brandon inside what appeared to be a luxurious suite. Champagne flutes resting on the bedside table, his arm wrapped around her. The dates stretched back 9 months. Update 1, I avoided the apartment for 3 full days. I remained at the motel, ordered food delivery, and began organizing my next steps. I wasn't after theatrical payback. My only goal was protecting myself from being wrecked, either money-wise or mentally. I contacted an attorney first. The lease listed both names. However, I'd shouldered 70% of the rent payments over the previous 2 years, since she was channeling funds into her professional growth. Most of the furniture, the television, the high-end coffee maker she demanded, I'd covered those costs. The attorney advised gathering proof. So I compiled everything: bank records, credit card logs, receipts. I built detailed spreadsheets. I captured screenshots of messages where she'd requested I temporarily handle her rent portion. That habit had become routine. On the 4th day, I returned to the apartment. She sat on the sofa, eyes puffy as though she'd been weeping. The space remained chaotic from the event. "Where have you been?" she asked, rising. "I've been so worried." I placed my bag down. "Have you really?" "Yes, of course." "You disappeared without a word." "You announced to 30 people that I wasn't good enough for you," I replied. My tone stayed even, perhaps too even. "What did you expect me to say?" She nibbled her lip. "I'd had too much to drink. I didn't mean it that way." "Which portion wasn't meant? The bit about me not matching your drive? Or the part claiming decency can't support your desired lifestyle?" Her expression shifted. The pretend worry vanished. "You were listening in. You were discussing me from 10 feet away." She folded her arms. "Okay, sorry your emotions got bruised, but you've been drifting along for years. I'm out there hustling, networking, advancing, and your content staying put. I require more than just contentment." I gave a slow nod. "Does Brandon provide more than contentment?" Her eyes widened briefly. I noticed. "Who informed you?" She halted herself. "It isn't what it appears. Natalie showed me the pictures." I bluffed, curious whether she'd own up or dig in deeper. She dug in. "We're colleagues." "Those were business travels. You're acting jealous." I retrieved my phone, navigated to the cloud directory, and displayed an image of them both in robes, unmistakably sharing a hotel suite. Unmistakably off-duty, her complexion drained of color. "Leave," I instructed. "This apartment belongs to me too. Actually, based on the lease agreement and payment records, I've handled 70% of rent for 2 years, so this is how it will go. Pack some essentials and depart. Tonight, then locate temporary housing while we sort out ending the lease. And if you resist any step, I'll forward these images to your company's HR department." I checked their guidelines. They enforce a firm policy against relationships between managers and staff. She gazed at me as though I'd switched to another tongue. "You can't be serious. Test me." Update 2, she departed that evening. Word later reached me that she went to stay with Brandon. I replaced the locks the following morning. Strictly speaking, it violated the lease terms, but fairness no longer concerned me. 2 days afterward, Natalie phoned again. "You have to listen to this," she began without delay. "She's spreading that you were controlling and abusive, claiming you restricted her finances and cut her off from people." A chill ran through me. "What?" "She's twisting the narrative completely." She shared a lengthy post on her private Instagram about breaking free from a poisonous relationship. "People are buying it." My hands trembled. "I know," Natalie assured me. "That's exactly why I'm letting you know. I witnessed how she spoke to you. But she's skilled at this. She's positioning herself as the injured party." I requested she capture screenshots of whatever she could. I reached out to my attorney once more. He instructed me to remain silent, avoid reacting, and continue collecting evidence. He noted that slander lawsuits are difficult to prove, yet persistent behavior might give us grounds. I didn't wait long. 3 days on, she made a public social media post, a lengthy, heartfelt piece about summoning strength to depart and recovering from narcissistic mistreatment. No names mentioned, though none were needed. Anyone familiar with us could fill in the blanks. My phone erupted with notifications. Friends checking whether I was all right. Even distant acquaintances messaging things like, "I always sense something strange about you." I wanted to shout. I wanted to upload the evidence, pictures, financial records, everything. My attorney urged patience. Then Brandon slipped up. He left a comment beneath her post, something encouraging, mentioning his support during her recovery journey. Someone evidently knew his name, because within a day, the situation was reported to HR. Apparently, several colleagues had long suspected the relationship but lacked confirmation. Her open post paired with his reply proved sufficient to launch a formal review. Update 3, the review process lasted 2 weeks. In that period, I fully vacated the apartment, terminated the lease early, absorbed the fee, and secured a smaller residence on the other side of the city. Financial concerns no longer mattered. I simply craved separation. Natalie continued providing updates. From what she shared, the HR probe revealed not only the relationship, but also that Brandon had authorized overstated expense claims for her travel. They'd been siphoning minor sums from the firm, small individually, yet significant overall. Both were terminated. She attempted contacting me that same day. I let it ring. She left a message. "This is all because of you. You destroyed everything because you couldn't stand my success. I hope you're satisfied." I erased it without reply. A week passed, then a message arrived from an unknown number. "This is Brandon. We should discuss this." I blocked the contact right away. Then, roughly a month after the chaos erupted, I bumped into one of her former colleagues at a cafe. She appeared uneasy upon spotting me but approached regardless. "Hi," she said. I simply wanted to apologize for trusting her story, for not seeking your perspective. I gave a small shrug. "It's all right." "No, it isn't," she insisted. She's now doing the exact same thing to Brandon, claiming he pressured her into the relationship, that she feared refusing because he held authority over her. She's shifting all blame onto him to protect herself. I felt no shock, only exhaustion. "Best wishes to him," I replied. Final update: 3 months have passed now. Through shared acquaintances, I learned she relocated to her parents' home in a different state. Brandon, from what I gather, faces his own consequences. His marriage ended and he's finding it tough to secure employment in his field. I hold no sympathy for either one. As for myself, I'm managing fine, truly better than fine. I earned a modest advancement at my job, settled into a home I genuinely enjoy, resumed regular workouts. Last week, I even went on a date. Nothing major. Yet it reminded me how refreshing it feels to converse with someone who doesn't diminish me. Natalie and I occasionally stay in touch. She's offered apologies countless times for staying silent longer. I assured her it wasn't her duty, though I value that she eventually spoke up. That evening still crosses my mind at times. Standing inside my own home, listening as the woman I cared for declared to others that I fell short. Strangely, she had a point in a twisted sense. I wasn't suited to her standards. But that's because her idea of suited required overlooking my identity, my principles, and the life I wish to lead. Today, I'm sufficient for myself, and that's the part that truly counts.